Patrick McNeil joined now by Acadie-Bathurst T10 defenseman FJ Buteau, of course, formerly of the Cape Breton Eagles, landing in Bathurst this season. FJ, how excited are you and your teammates to get this season started after the long offseason?
It's definitely been a long month of preparation, camp, all that stuff going on. But we're all excited here and ready to get rolling for sure.
And obviously, your first year in Bathurst, you make your way there after a trade from Rouyn-Noranda. I have a feeling you probably had an inkling that this trade was going to happen. What was your reaction upon finding out you were coming back to the Maritimes?
I was just excited to have a spot in the league. As a 20-year-old, I had some good comments about the coaching staff and the organization and also the team we were going to have this year, that we were going to be competitive. So I'm just happy to be in a competitive environment at my 20-year last opportunity to showcase my craft. Hopefully that'll lead me somewhere.
How special is it to play as a 20-year-old, particularly one who was in the league at 16? I guess you don't take it for granted to get to play 5 years in this league.
For sure, it's a great opportunity. Obviously, I've worked hard to put myself in that situation, but now that I've been rewarded for a fifth year, definitely happy and will take the opportunity and try to make the most out of it.
You and I talked off mic about this T10 team, what to expect. It's your first year there, so you're probably still getting the lay of the land, so to speak. What kind of expectations do you have for a team that has some veterans but is kind of on the younger side?
I got great expectations. I think we're going to be a competitive team for sure. No night will we be counted out. I think we're going to be in every game. Obviously, we're a bit younger on the forward side, so that's going to be something to maybe work on during the season. But defensive-wise and also in the goals, we're very solid. So I think that's going to be a good asset of ours. I'm excited to see how the team's going to perform.
Tough end of last year for you and the Huskies because you're one of the teams that really kind of goes all in there and ends up coming short in the second round. You were up against a really strong team in Victoriaville, obviously. Just talk about the playoff experience there last year.
It was a fun experience. Obviously, it didn't end the way we wanted. Obviously, we wanted to be contending for the championship, and ending our playoff run in the second round was a bit of a disappointment. Obviously, Victoriaville brought their A game. We sure got a couple of injuries towards the end of the season, a couple key guys missing, so I think that hurted us a little bit. But ultimately, I just think we didn't perform the way we should have performed, and that led to us being eliminated.
Speaking of injuries, unfortunately, you were out of the lineup last year when the Huskies went to Cape Breton, barring some very unfortunate luck. The Eagles in T10. I have a feeling you'll get into a game in Sydney this year. How excited are you to finally get to play at Center 200 this year? First time as a visiting player.
That's true. I haven't played in Center 200 yet.
Not as an opposing player.
Really? No, definitely. I'm excited to go back there and play in front of my former Billets friends and former teammates for sure. It's going to be a little weird being on the other bench and in the other room, but I've always loved playing in Center 200. I'm excited for that. I think we go up there in October. Definitely, I'm looking forward to this game. Hopefully, I'll try to stick it to you guys.
Well, fans will be hoping not for that. Although your old Billets might give it to you if you get a goal or get an assist or whatnot. As I mentioned, 2.5 years with the Eagles. What kind of stands out as your memories from the time with Cape Breton? 3 different experiences in the 3 years that you were there because the league and the team changed so much.
Yeah, obviously a 16-year being my rookie year, I was introduced to the league, and then with all the COVID shenanigans it wasn't an ideal year, but 17th year obviously was a rebuild year, so we didn't have much success, but individually I think I had a lot of progress throughout that year, and also for the half a season I played in my 18th year. Unfortunately, I got injured there, but when I look back at my time with the Eagles, I'm grateful for all the opportunities I've been given with that organization. Obviously, playing at 16, being a fifth rounder, it wasn't expected for sure, but I'm very grateful towards the Eagles organization, and I've always loved playing in Cape Breton.
You get a chance to play against the Eagles in your new home of Bathurst. Kind of neat that you get to debut against one of your old teams in your new team. Yeah. You had the opportunity to attend Montreal Canadiens training camp. You were invited there this year. You were invited to Sabres camp a few years ago. Just talk about the experience at Habs camp this year and how different was it compared to the experience at Buffalo a few years back?
It was a great experience. It was only a couple of days because it was the development camp, so it was during the summer. But it was really a cool and fun experience. Had a lot to learn there. Came back with some knowledge I didn't have before, which is always cool. Obviously, being in Montreal's jerseys and facility, growing up only like 20 minutes away from there, I think it was surreal to me for sure. Being in Buffalo, it was obviously an unreal experience, and I'm very grateful. But having the chance to put on Montreal's jersey and be in their facility in Brassard was surreal to me, and definitely in that way sort of was better than Buffalo's camp. But in both camps, I learned a lot. I saw a lot of what it took to get to that next level. So I think in that way it was sort of similar, but it was definitely a cool experience.
Talking to FJ Buteau here, former Cape Breton Eagle now, currently with the Bathurst T10. I wanted to throw back to one of the old 10 questions. I want to know how many viewings of the show Friends is FJ Buteau up to by now?
Oh goodness. I've actually stopped watching it in the past few years because I just watched it so much. I'm honestly probably around 6 or 7 times. I've gravitated towards different shows now.
Have any surpassed that in terms
Oh
of
no,
overall
no,
viewings?
no, for
No.
sure. No, Friends is always going to be my all-time favorite for sure.
Your 20-year-old season, we mentioned 5 years in the QMJHL. You're obviously just getting started with this overage year, but do you think about what comes next? I know you'd like to play pro, university be an option. How much is that in the back of your head?
I try not to think about it too much. Obviously, it's sort of a do or die season this year being my last year in junior major. So I try not to think about it too much. Try just to focus on one day at a time, one game at a time. Just put in the work and hope that somebody will notice and take a chance on me. Obviously, I want to make it to professional hockey, whether it's in American Hockey League, NHL, or maybe in Europe. We'll see where that leads. But if that doesn't work out for me, I'm very open to the idea of playing university and get my studying done there at the same time. So I think it's a year full of opportunity, and we'll see where everything leads.
Well, we certainly hope the best, regardless what path you end up going. The last question I'll ask is, how do you feel you've progressed as a player in your 5 years in the QMJHL as you get ready for this overage season?
I think one of the biggest, apart from my hockey game and my physical strength and assets and stuff like that, I think that the biggest thing I've learned in the past 2 years, 3 years and a half is how to be a leader. Obviously, I was given a leadership role in Hawaii last year, and the same thing goes with this year. So I think that's one of my big strength now, just being a positive leader, show the way. And obviously this year I'm going to have to be even more of a leader for the younger guys. Obviously we got a younger team. So I think that's very important, but I think that's one of my biggest thing I've progressed towards.
Look forward to seeing that progression again, although we hope not too much success against the Eagles. Best of luck this year, FJ. Thanks for this.
Thank you.
That was Acadie-Bathurst T10 defenseman FJ Buteau joining us at the intermission. You're listening to Celtic Abota, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.